Hey everybody, welcome to Hey We're Talking. I got, not only today do I have the guy with the red headphones, he's got a red shirt on too, but hey, say hello everybody.
Hey, Scotty D, what's up, man?
Not much, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
Man, we're
good.
like, if you're looking on YouTube, we're pretty I don't know, pretty patriotic.
I know,
today.
we
We
are.
got red, white, and blue shirts. It's pretty awesome.
Bob has on that classic white tee. He
As
always,
always.
he gets home from work and he just, he's kind of like the dad from, what's the name of that show? Doggone it, how did I forget? The Goldbergs, except for Bob doesn't drop his pants. He drops his shirt off and just has his white t-shirt.
Yeah, shirt's gone. Pants, well, you
Well,
don't
you
know
don't
if I
know.
have pants on or not.
Maybe he is pantless. We have no idea. Anyway, here we are, and as you may know, we had the good old Super Bowl yesterday, and this is the age-old question, the thing that happens to a lot of males. Maybe females go through this too, but I think this is maybe a male-related topic. When football is over, what in the heck do you do next? It seems like you've got this thing, you get into a rhythm on, although, listen, the NFL has football on, 3 days a week now, so it's not like it's as special as it used to be. But it just used to be Sunday and Monday. Now it's Sunday, Monday, Thursday, playoffs on Saturday. But usually that game on Sunday is kind of that one. You get home from church, or maybe you went grocery shopping or had breakfast with the family. You get home, you crack open a couple of beers, and you watch the football Giants or the football Cowboys or the football Bears or whoever you want to say. So what do you do now? I leave that question to you.
Hey, Scotty D, it's Derek. Oh, we already did that part. All right. Lest we be accused of misogyny, there are plenty of lady football fans out there. Not in my house. My wife hates football, but I do know that my sister-in-law, Alyssa, is a huge Steelers fan. She goes to, I think she went to one of the playoff games. She went to the Steelers-Dolphins game just a few weeks ago. Yeah. She's even
Steelers are big league. Even though he says big league, everybody says big league because it's more funny. Go ahead.
Anyway, at my house, what do we do when football's over? I don't know. I just go back to normal. Football doesn't take over, really.
I know what you do. We were talking about it before the break, before we started recording. You're trying to rope people into this thing. This is what you do when football's over.
Oh, when football's over, I just focus back on my YouTube career and spending time with family and maybe playing games, on the computer.
What's the game?
Like GeoGuessr. Maybe you want to play GeoGuessr, and
at some point down the line, Derek, when I get hooked on that, we're gonna have a whole show on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're definitely gonna end up talking about this because here's a little behind the scenes for you. So Derek has been talking about playing this game and recording it and putting it online. I told him also today, like the biggest YouTuber on YouTube, it's how he got his start, just like Derek's doing, playing games for people to watch. So anyway, it is one of the most bizarre ideas, but people love it. I don't know why, but okay, so I'm talking about recording yourself playing games. But before the show started, these guys were talking about, is it called GeoGuess?
GeoGuessr?
Right?
GeoGuessr.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on GeoGuessr, you guess where you are geographically. Right. All right. Anyway, I'll let Derek explain it better. But he's talked to both of us about this. And before the show starts, Bob, who is usually just on task, he's got the spreadsheet out and he's ready to go. And I come on because I was a little bit late. And here's Bob, and he's just staring at his computer, and I'm thinking, oh man, he's really going on this PowerPoint thing, whatever he's got going, spreadsheet.
PowerPoint.
He's playing GeoGuessr, and he had a wonderful smile on his face. I think he really liked it.
I had a great round, man. You get five guests, 5 different locations. I think I did great. So yeah, I was totally zoning in on that. But once I minimized that, the spreadsheet was there.
Now I have to try it. Okay, but
You have to.
Derek, talk about what the game is. I mean, we're going to go off topic here. I don't care. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so since we've just totally hijacked this, football's over. Now what? GeoGuessr is a free internet-based game. It's just at a website. Some dude from, I think, Sweden a few years ago came up with a game idea. All he did was he uses Google Street View and Google Maps. It's a round of 5 guesses. They put you somewhere randomly in the world via Google Street View. And you're allowed to navigate around, go up and down the streets. If you're familiar at all with Google Street View, you know what I'm talking about. You can zoom in on buildings and
That's how they found Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, exactly. And then all you do is just place your guess on the Google map where you think you are, and they give you points based on how close you are. It's very simple. But I think Bob wants to talk, but he's frozen on my end.
No,
you were actually
you're
kind of
frozen, but that's okay. Now you're not frozen. So whatever happened, the internet gizmos clicked in, and now it looks like you're coming back. You're a little glitchy. You're like you're in the Matrix, but it's okay. Go ahead, Bob. What were you going to say?
No, it is a pretty fun game. I mean, just for the few minutes that I played it, and me kind of doing logistics and knowing geographics and detective work and all that stuff, I had a pretty good round, and I'm going to have to keep going on this thing and see how well I do.
Bob's going to become like one of the best players ever, and Derek's going to be like, man, I introduced him to that. Stole my thunder.
No, I'm not going to myself play.
I'm doing it on my personal YouTube channel just for funsies, and I already put out there I'm not the greatest, and I don't even pretend to be.
No, I watched the first one, and one of the things that I was thinking, but I think on Google Maps or Google Street View they blur this out, but I was like, oh, just look at the license plates on those trucks that you were seeing, but they blur those out. One of the vehicles that you did look at, though, it had words on it, and they let them stay on there. They didn't blur it out. It wasn't the license plate, but it had like an advertisement for the, the vehicle, whatever company it was from. It had the advertisement on it.
Yeah, it screwed me up, made me guess wrong. But that's okay. That's okay.
What was the one on your video? I won't give the whole thing away, but on the video, what was the one that you got closest to? Do you remember?
I can't even remember. It was, I don't know. I remember maybe was it the one in Poland?
I think it was.
I don't know.
The one that was in Russia, I was
God.
Man, that's going to be hard. Because Russia's huge. How in the world would you know? I mean, Russia's massive.
Yeah, you just got to take some of the topographical and geographical clues. Look at the flora and the fauna and the mountains.
The one that you said,
the carpet and the drapes.
I'm giving away his whole video, but there's this one part where he's like, "This has to be Australia because of the road and it has like that reddish orange dirt and all this kind of stuff." And as he was saying that, I was like, all I kept thinking was, man, Australia's huge. How are you going to narrow this down? That's all I kept thinking. Every one of the ones he brought up, I was like, this is massive. And then one of them was in Brazil. And you're like, I was thinking, Brazil's massive. It's a huge country. How are you going to narrow down do people get really, really close? Or, are all of them like hundreds of miles away?
One of the ones I just had on my round I was 63 miles away.
Oh my gosh. How in the heck was it, like a famous city or no?
No, it was just some small mountain area in Vermont.
And you figured that out?
Yeah.
How?
Just looking at the mountains, realizing it's not from the Tennessee, it's not from out west, just kind of, process of elimination.
Have you been to Vermont?
No.
How do you know what Vermont looks like?
You just got to know.
Oh, my God.
All learning.
This is crazy.
Come on, Scott. Everybody knows what Vermont looks like.
I have no idea what Vermont looks like.
Green Mountain coffee. Come on. If you see Green Mountains.
Yeah, and it had actually a big cup of coffee on top of the mountain, and I'm like, I know where I'm at. That's
Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
I was going to say, where are those ice cream guys from? Is that Vermont?
Yeah.
it may have had something to do with Mr. B's landscape company in Brussels, Vermont, or something that it said on the side of the truck. But I'm not sure.
Okay, there we go. Now we've narrowed it down. So anyway, apparently 2 of the people from Hey We're Talking when football's over are playing GeoGuessr, which is interesting. I'm actually in the middle of, we had a show, I think it was last week, where we talked about video games, old school video games and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of a major overhaul of the Detroit Red Wings hockey team. I have traded away and gotten picks, and I've gone through a number of drafts now, and I did that because the Red Wings this year are one of the worst teams. It's horrible. So I have to live through the video game. So instead of playing GeoGuessr, I'm determining the future of the Detroit Red Wings hockey team, but not really, only on my video game.
Yeah, I mean, they're 20, 21, and 9.
They're horrible.
Pretty sad.
They played WizD's New Jersey Devils the other night and were massacred. It's just bad. They're horrible. They're horrible.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting worried about my Blackhawks because losing teams. I know they're just going through a rough spot right now. But for me, that's really the next big thing. I'm not really a basketball fan, and I won't really follow basketball. But to get more into the hockey season. Yeah. So we're almost halfway through the season.
We're a little over.
A little over halfway through the season. So now I get more serious about hockey. So that's going to fill up a lot of my time.
Derek's trying to save the show because he's like, hockey. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
We have hockey around here, if y'all
what team
believe
do you
it or
follow?
Not. I don't follow a team.
Exactly.
No freaking ways, my good sir. But there is minor league hockey or semi-pro hockey.
What's your minor or semi-pro near you?
If they are still in operation, the Odessa Jackalopes.
That's a great. I would love to see their jersey. Bob, look it up because that's going to be great.
Yeah, it's like an angry-looking rabbit. Like,
That's cool. See, have you ever gone to one of the games, Derek?
No, I've only been to one hockey game my entire life, and it was great. It was in Fairbanks, Alaska, and I know those semi-pro guys were. I mean, it was just fighting the whole game. It was great. It was very high scoring.
Yeah,
when it's crap out of each other.
When it's not pro like the actual NHL, there are fights in the lower leagues. Not as much in the developmental leagues anymore as there used to be, but yeah, fighting's kind of going out of the game. That's not really something that happens as much anymore.
Yeah, the Odessa Jackalopes are still around.
Is it a cool jersey?
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's just got a jackalope holding the sign that says Jackalope, and he's got a hockey stick, over his shoulder. It's a little different.
There are a lot of cool minor league and like lower league hockey jerseys and logos. They're pretty cool. They're fun. All right, so some of us will be watching hockey. The thing that's going to be sad is, and you'll find out probably in March sometime, I'll start to be really depressed because the Red Wings have made the playoffs 25 years straight, and it's not going to happen this year.
And yeah, we Scott and I have been busting each other's butt about that for the last couple of years, just for the fact that the Hawks doing good and the Red Wings have been doing okay, getting into the playoffs, and he's like,
barely.
Got to keep this streak alive. We got in, yes, and this year,
no,
it's over.
It's not going to happen. I'm predicting it now. As much as I love the Red Wings, I'm saying they're done this year, which is okay, I guess. It's time, everything comes to an end. But there was a time, Bob, where the Blackhawks were living in the depths of the NHL. So,
trust me, I know. I mean, it's a lot of teams go through that, but even though the Blackhawks are struggling a little bit, I mean, they've still got a good record, and
Derek is just so not. I mean, are you watching his face?
I know he's like
totally just this. He's like hockey. It's like
my jackalopes. My jackalopes are going to kick somebody's asses sometime. Maybe
it'd be like him and my wife talking about nursing stuff, and I gave this guy this and that, and
I shoved a catheter in this guy's wiener. It was great.
Yeah, I would have no clue what they're talking about. So.
That's actually one of Derek's favorite things at work, right? Giving a catheter.
Yeah, cathing people.
And butt stuff.
Butt stuff too. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect place to end the show because I think the last time we talked about Derek's nursing stuff, he was like something about touching kids or something, and it was just perfectly said. Do you remember that? It was one of our very first episodes. It was bad.
It's probably like
episodes.
Yeah, it was. We don't need to. Probably don't need to
be. We're just
you're like touching kids. Derek, you're touching kids. I'm like, no. Don't.
Andy likes to do butt stuff. So
yeah.
Well, this show is all over the place today, but I still had fun doing it. So I mean, football's over. We need some more entertainment now. So baseball's a ways away, and that's that.
We'll be thinking about the NFL draft pretty soon. So there you go. All right, guys, thanks for listening again. We appreciate you. Stop by and check us out at heywe'retalking.com. You can look us up on iTunes, get our podcast, Hey We're Talking, Facebook, Hey We're Talking, and email us at heywe'retalking@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.